How's it going, everyone? So we have this generator here that obviously has a very interesting addition. However, the one addition that we're going to be doing, is the reason why you clicked on this, hopefully, is this. This is an older style kill. Basically what it does is it grounds out the plug, kind of like a kill wire would just ground out the coil. However, there's two reasons why I'm not a fan of these. Reason number one, doesn't sell well at all, and this one's going to be sold. Two, while older people have no problem with this, they know what it is. It was very common back in the day. Younger don't. In addition to that, a bonus reason is if you were to happen to push that tab and then your finger slips and you touch the plug, well, it's not going to hurt you, it will jolt you, and you're definitely going to not forget it. Even if your finger gets close to it, it potentially could zap you a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a kill wire to it. Now that we have it a little bit more workable height, let's see what we have here. That's 9/16. It's probably like a half or something of the sort. Now, while I'm finding the necessary equipment, I'm going to go over something real quick with you. The switches that I have, unfortunately, are probably not the best ones for the job. Let me explain. The markings on them pretty much want you to turn the switch to turn it on. We don't want that. We want to turn the switch to turn it off. So it's going to kind of be backwards, but I don't really think it's going to be a big problem. All we have to do is just pull stunt from like Independence Day and just flip the paper over when they fly the spacecraft backwards. So we need to take off the shroud here. Yours could be a little bit different, but on mine it's just 2 bolts there, 2 bolts on the bottom. Have to remove the recoil and then that's off. I don't think you should be subjected to that. 2 words of caution before you do this. Animals and bugs like to hide in here, so keep a watchful eye. And 2, sometimes the metal can be a little sharp. Try not to cut yourself. Wow. In addition to that, sometimes they really don't like you to take it off, apparently. There we go. Or not. There we go. Okay, put that off to the side. Actually looks pretty clean. So, what do we have here? We have, looks like just a standard coil. I don't see any wires going behind the flywheel, so I do believe it's not a pointed condenser system or anything like that. So, should be pretty good. The switch that we are going to be installing, as I said, is a little bit backwards, but this is the switch I have. It's really nothing special. You can get this for really cheap. In fact, I got like a 5-pack for like $8. That's why I have so many of them. So what we need to do is, it doesn't really matter what wire, but we need to connect this little tab on there to this. So I'm going to go through my electrical connections and I'm going to see if I can't find some that will fit. In addition to that, we need a grounding location. So that could be anything on there that's metal. I'm trying to think of where a good place would be on this, because we don't want to have it anywhere near the flywheel spinning. We don't want to ground it to the coil, obviously. So we might, let me do a little searching and let you know what I find. So finding something for the post, not a problem. Found that pretty easily. However, I wasn't as lucky for finding the grounding point. However, I think what I'm going to do is, on the bottom, I ground off some paint. And that is going to screw directly into this block itself. And there were 2 or 3 convenient little holes here. This is probably going to be for the switch itself. I may have to put it on the top, I don't know, but I don't think this hole is going to be appropriate because it's probably going to be touching the head. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move all these little tiny fittings or connections and put this back on and kind of see where and where we can't put this. So there isn't really a whole lot of places on the machine itself, so that's unfortunate. Close enough. Right there at least. There we go. Now, this hole, definitely no. This hole, that could be a good place for the switch. So, I'm thinking maybe here, drill a little hole, put like a screw in there, and then we'll just have the switch kind of physically attached to the shroud, and then we can do it. When you take the shroud off, we just have to undo the switch from the actual coil. That shouldn't be all that bad. So I'm going to get a drill bit and drill it out. Let's take a look and see, however, if... Yeah, no, that's nowhere near the same size. So I'll probably get like a step drill and I'll edge that big hole out a little bit more. This is going to make a horrendous noise, but I just want to show you, this is in a little vise. You don't want to have step drills or drills in general or anything. You don't want to drill it and then it kind of catches itself and then flips it around. Like I said, this is pretty sharp, especially right here or the ends. You don't want to hurt yourself. Okay, so hole drilling 101. If you're using a step drill, if you don't know what a step drill is, it's one of these. If you don't have them, I highly recommend getting them. They're very useful for larger holes, so you don't have to have like such large bits, because those things are pretty expensive. And for something like this, it's ideal. Now, you don't want to just assume you know what hole size it is. Go one step and then check, one step and check. Right now, that's in there nice and solid. So, we hopefully are good to go on that. So I'm going to take the screw. I also drilled another hole right here. I need to clean it up a little bit. In addition to that, I ground down the paint on that hole because I want to have a good solid connection to the metal. That way it has a good ground. And then I'm just going to wire it up and I'll bring you back and let you see it. Okay, this is what we have. So we have the switch, hopefully the light's not killing us here, secure in there. One of the wires is going to this bolt, which I've ground the paint off on the shroud, and then the other one has a connector for the coil. Now I also trimmed the wire a little bit so it wouldn't be getting in our way. I don't think it's going to be a problem for the coil wire. I left that one a little bit long because that's going to be kind of angling up anyway, but the other wire I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be a problem. So let us, in addition to that, we have to have a little bit of slack in order to even put this on, like so. Now I just need to put the shroud back on. The magnet's really getting us right now. There we go. Let's just move that over, shall we? There we go. Stuck on something. Okay. So I don't feel the wires anywhere. Let's just turn it real quick. I'm going to disconnect the spark plug just in case. Yeah. Everything appears to be good. I don't feel anything crunching. This is pretty flat. that is going to be grounded to the case. The case is going to have a bolt that's going to the motor, and then I did grind the paint off on the other end as well as where the bolt's going to go, just enough where it's going to be not exposed to the elements, but enough to make a good solid connection. In addition to that, I've chased the holes with a drill bit to kind of wipe away some of the paint in there. It's a little bit of a rust issue, but I only did it on the top, not the bottom, the bottom, not the top. So I think it should be fine. I want this to be very grounded. That's the key thing. So I'm gonna put the bolts in, and we're gonna give this a test. I figured when I put this back on, I'll explain one thing. I did not use any solder. I use just little connectors and a crimp. Reason for that is this. Some people really like solder, and I'm not against solder for certain things. Electronics stuff. That one's going to be difficult. But when it comes to stuff like this, I do not believe solder is a good idea, because what you end up doing is creating a weak point, and it's kind of brittle. So if you can crimp it, it's just going to be a little bit of a stronger connection, especially with something that vibrates. If this doesn't vibrate, that's fine. Stuff that uses solder should never, in my opinion, vibrate. And if it does, then you should just use crimps. If you were to look at any vehicle, very, very few places will you see a wire actually soldered in place. At least on newer vehicles. Maybe on older ones, yes. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. I wanted to bring that up because if it's a question you have if you should solder it, I would recommend no. And I understand there's something plugged in. I'll unplug it, don't you worry. It's just a drill. And when I turned it off, it wasn't running. So, moving on. I think we're good to go. Right now, we are set to off, which should be on, I believe. If not, we'll pull the plug and we'll try something. It's pretty cold. It's like 30 degrees outside right now. I know I'm in shorts. I'm weird. But so much nicer. Like I said before, you'd have to take your hand and touch the plug, which, like I said, isn't a horrible thing, but that can come with mainly just getting shocked and jolted, and I'd rather not do that. In addition to this, right now it is killed. It's a solid connection. If you need to turn it on, you actually have to rock the switch. So the previous way, if you somehow spun the engine, it would potentially start. So I prefer doing it this way. So right now, we are good to go. We have updated this thing to not necessarily where I would like it to be, but enough to the point where it at least has a kill switch rather than a kill tab. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave you at that. If you have one of these machines and you want to do that, simple, just get the switches off Amazon. They do make ones that are normally, closed or open? It would have to be open when it actually says it's on, and then closed when it actually says it's off. I just got the wrong ones, so it's up to you. I don't really mind the way it is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it. I mean, it's gonna be mine anyway. Potentially I'll sell it, and if I do, then I will just tell the owner. I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram as Mullinger101. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe. Definitely leave a thumbs up. This helped you out because that helps me out. And I'll see you in the next video. You have a good night.